Hi again. So as it turns out, moving that driveway over to the other side of the lot did allow us to interpret those setbacks a bit differently and gave us a larger building envelope so we could develop a floor plan in a house that would work out beautifully for us. However, doing so put us in jeopardy of exceeding that 5,000 square feet of disturbance. Go figure. So here we were back at square one of a far too shallow 26-foot deep building envelope. And Jay was all, honey, this isn't going to work out. And I'm all, yes, it is, honey. Trust me, this is going to work out. Because at this point, I was so emotionally invested in this process, and we had looked at so many other houses in this area, and nothing was anything we even remotely liked, not even a little bit. See, here's part of the problem. Being in the business we're in, the concept of paying fair market value or retail value for anything real estate related is just something we just can't do it. We can't even get our head around that concept. That will not work for us. So we had decided, based on what we were seeing, that the amount we were willing to spend, the entire overall budget, our maximum number, for no particular reason, was a nice round even $500,000. That was it. That was our number. The problem is, being as desirable as this neighborhood is, things that were going for upwards of $600,000 still needed lots of updating and still needed lots of changes and all kinds of stuff to make them not even something we would love, but something that we could kind of live with and settle for. So trust me, the more houses we looked at and didn't like, the more desirable a 26-foot deep house was if that was the best we were going to be able to do to actually make something that was going to be at least a nice house that we could live with. So it's now time to get on the phone with the seller and get this thing locked and loaded. So we had a benchmark of construction costs right around that same time. Jay and his partner Todd had just finished building a spec house in Atlanta. Similar type of scenario. It was a house that needed to be demoed, and then they built a new, absolutely beautiful house on that land. And when all was said and done, they amazingly came in at a finished per square foot price of $60 per finished square foot, which honestly was really, really outstanding, especially considering the finishes throughout this house. There were no builder grade materials. It was all custom. It was seriously just beautiful. So that was $60 per square foot in Atlanta. Jay, of course, is always conservative with his numbers. And of course, here in Columbia, Maryland, it costs a bit more to build. So he decided to work with the number of $100 per finished square foot for construction costs. And like I said, we knew that the size of the house we wanted to build would come in right around 3,000 finished square feet. So some simple math here on my fancy smancy tool of the day. Okay, so we have a 3,000 square foot house, and at $100 per square foot to build, that left us with a $300,000 cost to build this new house. Now, we had mentioned that $500,000 was our maximum budget. So that brings us to, I'm writing backwards here, pretty impressive, right? To a $200,000 maximum price we could pay for the property. Problem is, they were asking $250,000. So there was a $50,000 delta, or a 20% delta, if you will, that we would have to overcome to be able to acquire this property. So I was ready. I was locked and loaded. I was going to make this thing happen, get on the phone with the seller, and knowing that our maximum purchase price was $200,000, I proceeded to remind her of everything that was wrong with the property, how much work it would take her to be able to get it on the market in the first place, how unattractive it would be to retail buyers or owner occupants because of all the work that would need to be done, how unattractive it would be to investors because of the limitations on the property and the setbacks and all those other challenges and so on and so forth. And I proceeded to make her an initial offer, knowing, of course, that our maximum was $200,000, an initial offer of $180,000. So how do you think that went? You probably have a pretty good idea, but come back next time and I'll tell you more about it. In the meantime, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. See you soon.